What a difference a few months make. We started off the year where it was still really hard to get a GPU at a reasonable price, and right now, you can pick up a recently released 4080 for less than MSRP. Granted, that MSRP is kind of crazy, but let's wrap up where we've been this year. Welcome to Machines and More. I hope you guys still want to build PCs because I sure do. It's no secret that demand for PC components is softer now. I guess everyone that wanted to build a new system did it in the last 2 years, right? But even if you're not buying a new CPU or a new GPU, and it doesn't look like GPUs are getting any more SFF friendly anyway, but I hope the content here on this channel is still relevant and will continue to be relevant to you as I focus on the SFF cases, coolers, how-tos, build guides, optimizing your setup, that sort of thing. You know, you can always rebuild your system even if you don't get any new components, right? I did want to bring up some highlights for some stuff we looked at this year and wrap it all up. In terms of SFF cases, there have been quite a few new entrants, but one case really stands out, and this one hit that near perfect balance: volume, thermal performance, build experience, looks, compatibility, and biggie, price. Case of the year for me, I'm talking about the Lee A4 H2O. I really liked this case when I reviewed it initially, and it's only continued to impress. I do have a custom loop project with this case that I've been pushing out with this guy over here, but what more can I say? So many SFF builders will be happy with this case, and yes, it's highly, highly recommended. In terms of more boutique cases, the T1V2 has been my happy place this year. Just looking at the near perfect CNC work makes me smile, and it's just an awesome little guy. It's going to be a little bit easier to get your hands on it right now. So this year, the one thing that has been kind of disappointing to me with the recent CPU developments is actually more of the mini-itx motherboard selection. With the AM4 boards, you still had a really decent selection of boards between X570 and B550. There was something for everyone. You could find something that wouldn't break the bank. And likewise with Intel's LGA 1200 socket, you know, your 10th and 11th gen CPUs, you had quite a few Z490 and Z590 boards that weren't prohibitively expensive. But right now, the AM5 ITX board situation is pretty sad, and that's why I haven't worked on this 7700X here yet. It's coming, but on one hand, you've got an overbuilt and expensive X670 board, and then you've got some B650 boards which recently hit the shelves, so most likely I'll be checking out one of the B650 ITX boards, probably the MSI one, shortly. But the pricing for the B boards is still, yeah, and you're gonna really have to want to move to Zen 4. Likewise, on the Intel side, there's not too many options for LGA 1700, but this year, the one board that I did take a look at that I can actually recommend is the ASUS B660 ITX board. Yes, it's still a B board for Intel with limitations for your unlocked CPUs, but I've been running a 12700K on it just fine for stock performance. It's not super overbuilt, it's still good build quality, the price is okay, it doesn't skimp on too many features. Still has a PCIe 5.0 expansion slot, and against the landscape of new mini-itx boards recently, I think this one stands out. And if you are looking to do an ITX build with recent gen CPUs, I'd go Team Blue here along with that board, and even the 12400 that I tested was mightily impressive. This year we also saw the release of a new performance fan that deserves serious consideration, the Silent Wings 4 series from Be Quiet. And the base level Silent Wings 4 fans in the 120mm version really impressed a lot since they get really close to top level performance at a very attractive price. They are attractive looking as well in all black, and if you want to shell out a little bit more for the looks, you can get that too with the Silent Wings 4 Pro, but I really don't think you have to. So highly recommended fans and good entrant here. For coolers, I hope to see more developments next year, but there were still a few highlights here. For one, the Noctua D12L was a good new cooler. Lower height dual tower with very interesting looking NFA 12x25 round with round corners fan here. Performance was decent. Of course, as a Noctua goodie, it's a little more spendy, but I think well worth it. For low-profile coolers, the IS55 from ID Cooling was a nice surprise. I tested this one with the formed T1V2. It's not an expensive cooler, It's got very good clearance. The performance was more than acceptable. And now that I think about it, I really need to do a standalone review of it here. But yeah, with its 57-ish millimeter height, it's a very good candidate for your next build in order to put a 25 millimeter fan on the heatsink or to fit into your low clearance ITX build with the included slim fan. So before you run out and do an ASUS B660 ITX build in an A4H2O, I did want to say a big thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for suggesting topics for my videos. Thank you for always commenting and sharing your feedback on these videos. And hey, you know, I'm always striving to improve upon the content and the testing that I deliver to you guys in the SFF community. And your support, it means everything. So thank you again for sticking with me this year. More great cases and stuff to talk about. I'll be here. So thank you for a great 2022. Hope you're enjoying the holidays. Happy New Year to you all. And I'll see you guys next year.